The Snakes and Sydney up there in far north Queensland. This is going to be a more competitive game than you think. Sydney, of course, we know they're championship contenders. They're back-to-back reigning champs, but Cairns, up in Cairns, is no mean feat. I want to focus on Alex Tui because he's my man. I am first on the bandwagon. I reckon we can take his player performance double. 15 points, 5 boards. That's the way to go when it comes to Alex Tui. He's been sensational to start his rookie season. This will be a good game. Sydney and Cairns up there in far north Queensland.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
Welcome back to the Saturday Switch. Why do we call it the Saturday Switch? Because we're switching people in and out. We've got games going left, right and centre. Liam, Gazy, welcome to the panel.
Hustle. It's called hustle in basketball terms these days. They don't say switch anymore. Hustle, hustle. Well, you know what that means? Switch.
Well, speaking of hustle, DJ Hogg, we got this one circled right here because Cairns taking on the Sydney Kings. DJ Hogg, his first appearance this season against his old team. Drama.
Wow, it's who knows whether it will be, but the timing's been good for the Sydney Kings to be able to bring him back into the lineup. He can shoot it. He was one of the better players in the competition last season. But when you have that extended time off, how long does it take you to get back in? Well, maybe a little quicker if you go right back to familiar territories on a place that he did some fantastic work against the purple and gold last season. So interesting to see how he slots back in.
Well, I'll tell you what, like a couple of horses that were running today, maybe he'll be better for this run and just be a little bit better the next start. But let's go down and chat to Derek Rucker because he's live in stadium, the man that absolutely knows everything that is going on in Sydney. Derek, can you join us?
I'm here, guys, and it is a thriving, it's a lively crowd up here in Cairns. And this Cairns Taipans team, wow, that's a loud buzzer. This Taipans team is really businesslike, guys. They've come out with a real stern mentality. There's no looseness. They look like they're very angry based on what we saw happen just Thursday night down in Wollongong.
Let's talk about that for a second then, Ruck. That was not a good performance from the Taipans coming back from those games in the States. What do you feel like they need to bring better or more of tonight?
Liam, I just thought they were sluggish. I mean, that's kind of a byproduct of coming back after a long trip like that. But I think you'll see a totally different team out here tonight. They'll be re-energized. It's a sellout crowd. And I think even though they don't have Tajir McCall, there's enough depth in this lineup. And these guys know how to play in front of this crowd and really energize themselves. And I think Adam Ford has had a lot to say over the past 36 hours of his team.
And what about at the other end with the Sydney Kings? Because we've seen the best of them, but you know, they've shown a little bit of vulnerability. And of course now with Galloway with some issues, they're going to have to fight through a period where they don't have all their best available talent.
Well, Drew, you'll be happy to know that DJ Hogg is actually under minutes restrictions tonight. I've been told he'll only play 15 to 20 minutes, so there will be ample minutes for Jonah Balden, who found himself in foul trouble last Sunday against Tasmania. Look, this team was flat again, and I think they need to see a more energized effort tonight in order to get this victory here in Cairns.
Well, Mr. Rucker, thank you. You run over there to that little commentary booth and give us one of the best calls we've seen.
All right, guys.
Thank you. I'll tell you what, 15 seconds. Who wins?
I'm going to go with the... who did you say?
I'm going Sydney.
I'm going Sydney as well.
Taipans, well, I'll tell you what, I'm going DJ Hogg in his limited minutes to have a massive game. Stay tuned. Sydney Kings, Cairns Taipans up next.
Here's Bruce to Noi, the birthday boy. Oh, he's got it! Oh. It's a birthday to remember for Kuat Noi.
There's been blow-ups, brawls and even heated tweets between these two sides. Let's be honest, they just don't like each other one bit.
And a bit of feeling between both teams. DJ Hogg puts it on his shoulders. And DJ might have rescued them. What can the Taipans muster? Hogg step back. Oh my goodness! Here's the instant offense. Slams it down.
You need to come a little stronger than that.
The Kings are going to return to the championship series to fight for their empire. The Cairns Taipans are back from their trip overseas and they are back on their home court at the Cairns Convention Centre. They're playing catch-up at the moment. It's only their 5th game of the season
And this is a very, very big one for Saturday Night Hoops. Not only because they are hosting the Sydney Kings, but because that man, DJ Hogg, the star of the Cairns Taipans NBL23 campaign, is back. But this time, he's wearing purple. Great to have your company for Saturday Night Hoops. I'm Jack Cameron alongside Liam Santamaria and Andrew Gaze. There is the Mitsubishi Motors ladder. Gentlemen, good evening to both of you.
It is. It's always tough when you come off a heartbreaking loss, a game you think you've got in the bag, and Tyler Harvey just comes and knocks the stuffing out of you with a last-second three ball. And how you bounce back from that. We heard Derek Rucker talking before the game. They got their game face on, whatever that means, and they're very, very focused. And I reckon that's a product of what they went through. But this man here, DJ Hogg, he can do it all. He can shoot it, but when you've missed a lot of basketball and you are a shooter, two things can happen. One, you're never as fit as you think you are, and two, that touch looks good when you're out there shooting against no one, but when you're in the heat of a battle, it can be a whole lot different.
It does look a little different, Liam, seeing him in purple.
Well, it's kind of worked out funny, hasn't it, that his first game in the purple and gold for the Kings is in Cairns against his former side. This is a little bit of what he put on display in the semi-finals last year. What a series that was. Went the distance. He had 24 in game one. He had 25 in this game two victory, which sent it to a deciding game three, and of course wasn't quite at his best in game three. And if you can't beat him, well, go ahead and join him. And that's what he's done over the course of the off-season, and here he is. He's going to go up against his former team.
Be interested to see how many minutes DJ Hogg does play. One of the most interesting matchups tonight will be the battle of the point guards. There's Jalen Adams, the MVP from 2 seasons ago. His numbers stack up so far this season, Drew. He has picked up right where he left off.
Well, that's right. He's so explosive and he can score. I thought early on in the season he looked a little anxious in some of his shot selection, and as this team, the fastest paced team in the competition, and he is relied upon a lot. And he's going to be up against Patrick Miller, who's been sensational. The points, now they've only played the 4 games, and he was big in that loss against the Illawarra Hawks as well with the 24. You're going to have to be required to score a lot, and he can do it in a variety of different ways. He's nuggety, he can get into the paint. Look at that, cops the hit and said, that's not going to bother me, and the power around the basket. He can beat you in a variety of different ways.
Yeah, they were having trouble offensively, the Taipans, against Illawarra, and they threw the playbook away and said, listen, we're just going to put the ball in your hands, Pat Miller, and we're going to play off you. And he was big. He nearly got him the victory. He hit the go-ahead bucket. And, of course, Tyler Harvey with the game winner.
It is a milestone night tonight for Angus Glover. Game number 100, which for many people watching probably don't think that that's that big of a deal to play game number 100. But when you've had 3 knee reconstructions and have gone through what Angus Glover has gone through to follow his NBL dreams, 100 games is a massive deal.
It is, and the heart of Farland, that's how big it is, because what he's been able to do, and coming back from those knee reconstructions, a lot of people say, hey, this is just not meant to be, but showing great resilience and determination. And even in this grand final series against the New Zealand Breakers, one of the more heroic moments that we've seen in an NBL final series, with the lung and rib issues, came off in a dire situation, and that missed shot against the backboard followed by the dunk, that was a pivotal moment, and I think one of the plays that turned the game in the favour of the Sydney Kings.
He's just great to watch. He's just heart and soul. He's so popular with the Sydney Kings organisation and the fans, and he's just, it's such a great result for him tonight to get to game number 1.
He made his NBL debut in 2016.
Yep.
And it's taken this long to get to 100, but because of all of the resilience and the persistence, overcoming those injuries, big congratulations to it.
Starting lineup for the Cairns Taipans. They have been playing around with a couple of different combinations to try and find something that works. No Tajir McCall tonight, so this is a little differently.
Yeah, well, they've flipped it up in the middle. So Sam Menenga's going to come off the bench, and the next Bobby Clintman gets the start. Wasn't particularly good in their last game, but man, in those first 3 games before they went to the States, he was sensational. So he's going to come into the starting lineup. They're versatile, they can all shoot it, and that's, you know, going to be tough for the Sydney Kings to guard.
Kings, on the other hand, have been pretty settled throughout their season so far, but they will go in tonight without Jalen Galloway. So that means that Kuat Noi, one of the leading contenders for 6th man of the year, will get a starting opportunity.
It is, and he's been lights out from the perimeter. He is a threat. And when you've got players like Jalen Adams in particular that can get to the rim, you need those shooters around you. Denzel Valentine, I think, is still a work in progress, and he's been very good, but I don't think we've seen the best of him. And Alex Tui, wow, has he been special. Can shoot it from the perimeter. We've seen his athleticism as well. So there's a lot to like about this Sydney Kings lineup.
You like Alex Tui, don't you?
I
doing the rounds at the moment that shows just how much you like Alex Tui.
Well, I've learnt that in this studio, the cameras are always on when I didn't think they were on.
That's right.
So, no, we get excited when we see some terrific basketball, and I'm very excited. I know that my man here to my right, Liam San Maria, is all over Clinton, but he is developing into one of my favourites. He's in my all-favourite team.
Oh, what? Wow.
He's in my all-favourite starting five.
Let's dive into a little bit more of that.
Well, I think
over the course of the night.
It's the courage, it's the shooting in particular. Well, you know I'm going to love a shooter, and he's been able to do that. And he's outside of that game against Illawarra, I think he's played with great maturity.
Our officials tonight, Ken Widgeon, James Grigul and Nathan Durant. And Sydney score inside 4 seconds.
Wow, jeez. Adam Ford is looking for a much improved effort from his Taipans tonight, and he won't be happy with giving up such an early bucket.
Went down on Thursday night. The Taipans had their hearts broken by Tyler Harvey. Late game winner. There's Miller in the paint. Rebound by Jordan Hunter.
He missed the shot, but the action's good. We know what the Sydney Kings are going to do. They're going to switch 80% of any exchanges, and that time they set the double down with Jordy Hunter, and that little kick out, it was a high-quality shot. Haven't seen a lot of teams really go in with a strategy on how you're going to exploit the switching defenses which the Sydney Kings apply.
Taipans only game number 5 this Henry Jacks NBL season so far. They've been overseas playing a couple of games against NBA teams. There's a turnover. Kuat Noi's made a really busy start to this game. Lays it up. He's got their first 4.
Sloppy from the Taipans. Throwing that one away. Bull Qual needs to be stronger with the ball.
Wardenberg turns the corner on Hunter. Here's Tate. And the New Zealander will be on the free throw line.
And I think Adam Ford would really like that matchup. Part of why he's flipped these things around. There's the bucket off the opening tip. Hunter just Ruckman style, and then Noi again out in transition. A quick 4 points for him, but I think you'd like them in the Wardenberg on Hunter matchup, Drewy. Those elbow catches, he's going to be tough to stay in front of.
Well, that's right. He can shoot it, but Jordy Hunter has been foul prone throughout the course of his time in the NBL, and putting it to the deck and testing him out off the dribble. And Wardenberg has the capacity to do that.
Bad little settler for Sam Wardenberg. Was 1 of 8 from outside on Thursday night. Doesn't normally shoot the ball that badly. Valentine misses from underneath. Cairns are going to push the ball. They'll happily play at the same pace that Sydney play at. Wardenberg blocked by Hunter.
Big time defensive play. Looked like he was beat. Jordy Hunter as Wardenberg turned the corner. Right here I thought he had him. And the recovery and the timing from Hunter was nice as he met him at the rim.
And risky for Hunter. He has to contest, but he has already picked up that 1 foul. And this is when you're trying to play at that breakneck pace, which they are the fastest team in the competition. And I know I'm been accused from time to time to be a little old school, but throwing it to the 5-man in the back court and making him a playmaker, not always good advice.
Well, the results on that occasion certainly support your point of view.
I don't mind it when the 5 gets it off the rim and he sees the floor, but giving it to him on the fly, that's a different proposition.
Pat Miller with his first points of the night. Back it out. Adams relocates. And if you haven't seen a lot of Sydney play this season, or in fact in the last 3 seasons, this pace that they're playing at is normal. This is what they always do.
Yeah, and that possession right there was a picture-perfect example of what they do. They penetrate, and then they pitch to the three-point line. Mahmoud Abdel Fattah wants finishes, attempts at the rim, and he wants three-point looks. They lead the league in assist percentage and in three-point attempts. So they want to drive and kick and shoot shots from long range.
Shot clock at 8 for Adams. Stepping back. It's off target. Foul called on Sydney. Let's get courtside first time tonight. Welcome in, Derek Rucker. Evening, Ruck.
Evening, Jack. Good to hear from you. And Drewy, I don't appreciate you ridiculing my comments. That was unnecessary and uncalled for. But look here, the Taipans are very businesslike in their approach. I'll reiterate that. But, you know, I don't think it's always a good thing because these guys are used to playing loose and casual and a high energy. And if they get too tight, as they look now, how's that going to affect them?
Well, that's right. And apologies, I actually thought I was lending some support, so that's how far I've gone. I thought I was lending support to your comments, D-Ruck. So sometimes my mouth and my comments aren't always in sync, so maybe I might have left a key word out here or there, but I know I fully agree, and we've seen that in a lot of sports. You look at how a lot of teams are playing now, that half the battle is, and they're instructed and coached to play with a smile on your face, be loose.
Knocked down from Bull Qual, puts Cairns in front.
Well, he was nice the other night, Bull Qual. He had a bit of foul trouble, but 19 points. He was one of the guys that was ticking the scoreboard over.
Miller out for Qual. Feet set this time. Back-to-back buckets.
And there's the kind of fun Ruck's talking about.
Yes.
Qual just holding the follow-through a moment extra in front of the passionate Orange Army in far north Queensland.
Gee. Couple of wild shots. Jalen Adams coming down with an early one. Time Valentine.
Ooh, got him.
Miller one into the other, did everything but finish. It's tap out from Clintman. Wardenberg with a deep two. Cairns are having a whole lot of fun right now.
There's a timeout, and they're almost beating the Sydney Kings at their own game. Getting it up, the penetration and the kick out, success. And again in transition, the defensive transition is put under a lot of pressure with those early three balls by the Sydney Kings.
Snooze timeout, 10-4 early stages. Mahmoud Abdel Fattah wants to have a chat about things, and the relationship between Cairns and Sydney of late has been a good one. When they get together, good things happen, Liam, including for that man, Kuat Noi. Let's go back to last season.
Oh, yes.
And this game went
on his birthday against his former team. Wild celebrations and kudos as Kuat Noi knocked it down and pumped his chest. Happy days. Of course, they hit another game winner. Was it the next game? Sean Bruce gave him the 9-9, and he said, I'm him. Let me hear about it. And you've got Kuat Noi, the former Taipan. You've got DJ Hogg, the former Taipan. Now, of course, Adam Ford said last season, I built this team to beat the Kings. And they nearly did it in that semi-final series. So it's building itself into a nice little rivalry. And one of the more fun parts about it is both of them play a really entertaining style of basketball, Drewy. They want to push the tempo. They want to play at a high pace and get lots of points on the board.
It is, and with no Tajir McCall, that is a setback because he is very good on the glass. He pushes the ball. He can get to the cup with his size. And him not being there, I believe, for personal reasons with his partner, I believe, having a baby. So he's stayed at home, and I'm sure that comes with the absolute support of the Cairns Taipans.
Cheerio to him.
And I'm sure he's tuning in, and I hope you're getting some sleep there, big fella, and it's all going well.
As DJ Hogg checks in for the first time for the Kings. All NBL second team from last season. That is pure class from Jalen Adams.
And that's a classic example of when you see that 5 out.
Yeah.
You're 5 out, and the floor is so spread because you've got shooters. DJ Hogg on the wing just checking into the game, and the Cairns Taipans know how lethal he can be. So there's no help, and if you can't keep a superstar and MVP in front, you're going to have some problems. And here we see it. See how the floor is all spread. The corners are in the corners. It's just a one-on-one game and opens up the lane for an easy deuce.
Foul called, you can hear. Adam Ford certainly thought it was a foul on Sam Menenga. Hogg straight into his work.
Well, maybe it was a foul, but Sam Menenga's, he's got to be a little stronger in there. His game is built around being big and strong and can operate in a powerful way down low. Here he gets the mismatch, he gets the switch, and now he's got to go to work.
Hogg over the back blocks the shot. So a bucket and a block early. Here he is for three. Not a bad look on. Bobby Clintman with the rebound. Miller. Own numbers ahead. That won't stop him.
Well, if you're an opposition team and you're looking and you're saying, well, let's get into the X's and O's. Let's scout these two teams. They're just coming up and down and letting it fly. Not a lot of action, but what is pivotal is the spacing on the floor.
Derek Rucker courtside.
Well, Drew, it's interesting you say that because I think the Taipans here on this court, as Clinton left one rip for three, he's off to the races, Liam.
You know, I love it, right?
Drew, I think on this court, the Taipans are one of the few teams that have the horsepower to go up and down with the Kings.
Well, they certainly, that's their game plan. They're trying to, and they're having success early in this first quarter.
Hunter couldn't finish. Cairns 6 of 12 from the field to start tonight. Now letting it fly and letting it fly with success. Clintman on the free throw line.
Good take from Clintman. Juiced up after hitting the three in transition. Here he is on the push, the Harvey Norman replay. And DJ Hogg just sat off him a little.
Come on, Deej.
Said, yeah, 7 from 14 across the first 3 games. I hear that, I see it. But I'm gonna make you prove it. And then here's Clintman getting himself to the free throw line.
The 20-year-old Swedish next up.
And the long sock look. It's different.
Is it above the knee? Is it on the knee?
It's sort of a little bit more than a sock. It's right up there. Usually, well, you don't usually see that type of action, but I guess keeps the calves nice and warm.
Are you for it?
I'm not opposed to it.
Okay. The GOAT ticks it off, and
no.
Bobby Clintman, who's going to have a long and distinguished career overseas,
yeah,
right to continue.
Love the way the young fellas express themselves.
Hogg got his man up in the air.
Oh, dear.
That's a wild one. Rebound by Jonah Balden, who's having a massive presence coming off the bench.
A massive season. I was unsure how long, like what's he missed? 3 years, 3 seasons he's been out of playing basketball, and he's come back on, and he's upset because he thought that there should have been a shot clock violation by the sounds of things. Maybe didn't. And he gets the board and the putback to Balden, but he's been good on the boards. He's been around the basket, and we're going to have a look at this, are we?
We have a malfunction going on. Listen, he didn't hit the rim.
So we're going to review the shot clock here. Adam Ford adamant that the ball did not touch the rim.
Sure is.
But did he get it off anyway?
Well, I didn't pick it up in live play, so we'll wait to see.
And tell me otherwise, because that's some fucking bullshit.
While there's the review going on, and Adam Ford sailing pretty close to the win. The Cairns Taipans have travelled a lot of miles in recent times. We spoke about the start to the season that they've had, and then they've gone overseas to play some NBA games as well, Liam. They've been everywhere, man.
Well, they sure have. Here's the itinerary. So obviously they had those early games in the season, including a trip over to play in New Zealand, in Brisbane, then they flew straight to the States. And then a lot of travel to get to where they needed to go. Washington, Toronto, come back to Cairns, played in Illawarra, and then now they've come back to far north Queensland. So it's been a busy time. What is that, 48,000 Ks in how long? Not very long at all. So very busy schedule, Drewy, and with a high-paced tempo that they want to play at, that makes things tough.
That's true, and combined with some personnel issues as they're working through their roster for various reasons. So they haven't been dealt an easy hand, but for them, and the opportunity to go play in the United States against NBA teams. It's, you got to find that balance. Doesn't look like there's going to be any change to what took place. Jonah Balden comes to the free throw line.
5th in the NBL for rebounds this season, Jonah Balden, averaging nearly 8 a game off the bench.
What's in the DNA? Pops was one of the greats. Bruce Balden, his dad, Big Bad Bruce, they used to call him. And Jonah's got the advantage that he's a few inches taller than what Dad was, but his dad was an elite rebounder. And there's a bit to be said about just inheriting those genes.
Of course, Big Bad Bruce gave you the business.
Yeah, my word,
in 1992.
He did.
He was handed the Grand Final MVP trophy by the late, great David Stern.
He was. Scotty Ninnis. Darren Perry goes down with an Achilles heel in game 1. Achilles injury, snapped Achilles.
Yes.
Scotty Ninnis comes into the starting lineup.
Did you think you had it? You had the series when Perry went down?
We thought we had an advantage. I was a little disappointed because Scotty was a lot taller, a bit more physical.
Yeah.
And Darren Perry, who was exceptional point guard, ran the show, but he had some troubles with me and Copes. A bit of size advantage that we had.
Oh.
One of our first wedgies of the season.
Short range wedgie too. It's not one you see too often.
No. Possession arrow with Cairns.
40 wearing a few hats tonight, isn't he? He's coaching the team, he's officiating the game, and he's running the score table as well.
Is that 3 separate invoices?
I think it is.
You put in for that?
I think it is. He'll have a little chat to Mark Beecroft and he'll let him know. He's on triple time.
I don't think he's running the score table, but what he is doing is providing some very direct feedback.
Clint over the top of Glover. That's pure.
That's size. I don't know about that. I think, have we overdone the too small?
I think we have.
I think we need to put the too small. It was good for probably the last, 18 months, but I think we need to move on.
It's official tonight.
I think so.
It's the end. It's the death of the too small.
Well, Bobby doesn't think so, but I think it maybe it should be.
Hogg inside. Malawatch in for his first minutes, and Balden can't tip it in.
But I do agree with Bobby. He was too small. And great recognition. When you've got that size advantage, how are you going to take advantage of it?
Well, it's what makes Clintman such a tough cover. It's 6'10", he can shoot the 3 ball, he can put it on the deck, and then obviously he can go over the top as well. But this is what makes Jonah such a tough cover as well. He can do a lot of similar things, and he's a real menace on the offensive glass right now.
I know that Melbourne have just got Joe Lawala-Chul back, and he and Ariel Hookporty, but the Balden-Hunter combination is right up there, isn't it, Liam, for the best in the competition?
I don't think it's at the Melbourne level.
It's right up there, though, isn't it?
Yeah. It's been very, very good. I mean, I think the Kings would be wrapped with how both of those guys have started the season.
Jordy Hunter in particular. He's been outstanding, relishing that starting role that Luke Longley's really pushed for. Thinks that he deserves the opportunity. He's repaying the faith. Late clock here for the Taipans.
The zone had an effect. 2-3 zone they went to, and they would have forced a turnover.
The high-scoring Sydney Kings have been restricted to just 12. And that's sloppy. Here come Cairns down the other end. Menenga gets it to stick.
Hell of a pass. Clintman and the Taipans running in waves.
It's now a 10-point lead, which is a game-high lead for the Kings. For the Taipans, I should say. Tees off once more.
He hasn't been shy. He's been prepared to let it fly from the 3-point line. And as I said, he would have done a pound of shooting as he prepared for this one, but it's hard to replicate the pace of play, how your legs get a little heavier when you're running up and down, and just the emotional anxiety that you go through when it's a proper game and points are on offering. Look out! Beautifully executed play underneath, out of bounds. Screen the screener action. And Jonah Balden tucks it in. And again, it looked like they were going back, falling back into his own defence. And another turnover.
Here's the execution of that out-of-bounds play, Drewy. Keep an eye on Balden over the top. Screen the screener.
That's right. The first part of that screen with Balden's, that's only if the defence is really, really terrible, but it's to get him to bite, and then you get that rescreen, and he's wide open.
Noi into the starting lineup tonight. Takes it at Wardenberg, draws a foul.
Not sure what Wardenberg's complaining about. Dropped the left arm there. That's what it looked like, and got all over Kuat Noi. And it's what Kuat Noi wants to do. Yeah, sometimes he'll shoot from range. Most of the time, he'll put his head down, dip his shoulder, and try to attack the rim and initiate some contact.
Last season, averaged a little under 8 points a game and 3.5 rebounds. So far this season, averaging 12 points and 4.5 rebounds.
Yeah, he's been awesome. Shooting at 45% from three-point territory. And, you know, with DJ Hogg out, you had Kuat Noi, Alex Tui, and Jalen Galloway all playing really well across the 3 and the 4 spot. Balden as well. And, of course, Galloway out now, but really terrific for the Kings to see all those guys starting the season playing at a high level.
Still 2 to 3 weeks away. The early reports for Jalen Galloway with a shoulder injury.
Well, he's another one that basically doubling his minutes per game, and the productivity had been enormous. And it's just up last week,
and
too.
another taking his opportunities.
Yeah.
Wardenberg crashes the glass and puts it back in.
And this defence is just looking a little passive by the Sydney Kings.
There it is again. Noi passes at the very, very last minute, but he's going to the stripe anyway because the Taipans are over the limit. Clintman, he just came off, and he's headed back in as Sam Menenga picks up his second personal.
Menenga checks out, not too pleased. Derek Rucker courtside.
Hey, Jack and Liam, just a quick note. You guys might want to pick up your games. Otherwise, Melinda Gates will be tweeting about you in the morning.
Again, I tell you what, you know what he does, D-Ruck? We've learnt that.
He's coming for you.
No, I don't mind, but he goes very early when things are still a little raw. And I think his reference there is to some of the goings-on in out west with Bryce Cotton's wife.
Yes.
Yeah.
He didn't miss a couple of weeks ago in Brisbane, Ruck, did he, about walking into the tunnel at half-time?
That's what I'm saying.
Fresh off the
very early
Baines incident. He doesn't pull any punches, our man. There's a bit of precipitation on the floor.
Ruck, what did you make of that post from Rachel Cotton overnight?
You know, it's interesting. It's a kind of a sign of how much the league has grown. And she wasn't the only one that made some comments about Perth last night. There were some other support system females that were out there, too, making their opinions well known. But I think if you look at it from our perspective, it's great content to discuss. And it's also just, it's recognition of how widespread the popularity of the NBL is now.
It's going to be a big, big week for Perth. Some matters at hand here, though. 6-point lead of the Taipans. Under 30 seconds remaining in the opening term. And that'll count for Lat Mayan.
it is. They're got some problems on the boards. It's a small lineup for the Sydney Kings.
12 rebounds to 5 in the opening quarter, Cairns' favour. Adams.
Got him on the face.
You heard the explanation. Got one on the face, and he'll be shooting free throws.
We'll get another look at it here. Clintman was on the switch. It's a tough spot to be on with Jalen Adams. Slid his feet. Gee whiz. Behaviour warning gone to Adam Ford, and I'm not surprised. I mean,
the right arm.
Right arm, yeah, just a little bit over the shoulder at the last moment.
times, an 81% free throw shooter across the season. Behaviour warning for Adam Ford. He's wound up pretty tight tonight to beat his former team.
He is, and it's the Sydney Kings just can't score. 0 of 9 from the three-point line.
Not good.
And they've had some good looks, just haven't been able to knock it down. And with 0 and 9, they'd be reasonably content that they're only trailing by 6.
It's the Taipans who lead by 1 at quarter time, 26-20 at the Cairns Convention Centre. Stick with us, more to come up next on Saturday Night Hoops in the Hungry Jacks NBL.
Your chance to win one of two $100 gift vouchers. All you need to do is get your phones out, scan the big screen or the clackers. Open up that page and you will see yourself on Ollie's Italian restaurant homepage. Simply click on Enter Now. You get to select your starting 5, whatever that may look like. Get in there. Oh, who's my point guard going to be? I might chuck the ball in there for one. Shooting guard, Madronia, yes. Once you enter all those 5 players, press Enter. Who's my forward? You could win yourself one of 2 $100 vouchers. Submit that for your starting 5.
It's quarter time at the Cairns Convention Centre for Saturday Night Hoops. Cairns shooting the ball nicely in the opening quarter. They are 10 of 21 from the field and a few Mitsubishi Motors threes in there as well. You can celebrate in stadium all season long with thanks to Mitsubishi Motors. Foam hands, a range of prizes. We've got the Mitsubishi Pajero that's up for grabs. You can check it out on the app, of course, on the NBL app, and you can check it out on the website as well. Nice start for the Taipans.
It was a really nice start, and it's with their shooting, they're 10 of 21, 47%, but of their 21, only 4 of them coming from the three-point line where they made 2 of them, so 50%. In contrast, 6 of 18 in total for the Sydney Kings, and 9 of them for the three-point line, but they weren't able to make any of them. And Liam Santa Maria and I were talking about when you're in this 5-out offense and you're just moving the ball around, you can get lost in that system if the ball doesn't find you. And it did not find Alex Tui. Played 7.5 minutes. And Liam did not register a single stat anywhere.
No, it wasn't involved. Sam Wardenberg gets Madronia involved there. So, no, but, you know, like that can happen, as you say, in this type of system. The penetrate and pitch, he's been shooting the ball well, so guys are staying attached. And the ball didn't find him. Meanwhile, I like the fact that Taipans, they just got focused on the little things in that first quarter. 6 turnovers, that wasn't good, but I like the energy. And there's Wardenberg underneath with a three-point play opportunity.
Yep. They're just in deep trans, and even in the half court, it's a highly reactive Sydney Kings, and they're not being disruptive at all.
No.
And combining that with having some problems on the boards, and that's why it's really the area that's costing the Sydney Kings and why the Taipans have got an 8-point lead.
Wardenberg, I should say, has 7 on the line for the extra. Derek Rucker courtside.
Guys, I thought that was the Taipans' best quarter of this season, and we see a little forearm or some type of shiver there, but I think that Coach Adam Ford has found a nice balance now. He's being really hard externally on everyone else, but he's really calm and reassuring with his team, and I think they're settling into a nice little groove. Liam, you said the turnovers were excessive, but if they can cut those down, I think the Kings are in real trouble here.
No, I agree. And we've talked a lot, Rock, about how this Taipan squad under Adam Ford, they're an energy team, and that energy's got to be positive and up on the bench and on the floor. Are you getting a sense of that there tonight?
Yeah, certainly, but just a little bit of tension, I think, also as Bull Quall. He's feeling it. He's got the braids out. He's going all not the wrong. Bull Quall, baby.
There's Tui. His first attempt. Noi wide open. Doesn't get that to stick. Tui misses off the tip in as well. This Sydney shooting clip is not great right now.
Well, they're 7 from 23 from the field overall. So 30% on the floor there and 0 for 10 from long range.
This is for a team that were 3rd in the competition for field goal percentage coming into the round. Qual got his own rebound. He's going to have to shoot it. Didn't touch the rim. Tui defers to Adams. An ambitious pass for Valentine. That was good to keep it alive. Kuat Noi scores.
Oh, that's a tech. That's a tech on the Kings. They got a delay game in that first quarter. And that one, I think it was Alex Tui, just tapped the ball away. And you just got to leave that thing.
I think it's a product of the way in which the Cairns Taipans have been able to run. They're looking to try and find ways to get a breather. And this was pretty good scrambling by the Cairns Taipans with just some really good offense from Kuat Noi. 10 points now for Noi. And with that delay of game infraction, they go to the other end, and well, that's had a clunk about it that you don't like to hear on a free throw.
Especially on a tech free throw, because you're supposed to be the guy at that point, aren't you?
The team's elected. Coach has said, my man's shown that he can shoot free throws.
Yep.
And then you get a clunk like that.
A little bit of a look at a zone here from the Kings again. Showed a bit of that in the first quarter.
Whitman's pass was too hot to handle for Mayan.
It was the right idea. They were able to get some penetration against the zone. And the pass was just a little hot. That's where, as you mature, you're under a little bit more control. As you make that penetration, you come to a stop and you drop that off nice and easy. But hello, the Sydney Kings. Just Kuat Noi is taking matters into his own hands and having some tremendous success.
And this is what it is when you're defending the Sydney Kings. Can you sit down in a stance and slide your feet and stay in front of the ball? Because they'll test you. They'll just put it on the deck and a straight line drive it to the hoop. And if they get by you, they're finishing. If they don't quite, but they can suck in the defense, they'll pitch out to the 3. That's the challenge. It's like a shell drill. And, you know, youngsters from around the country will be rolling up to practice tomorrow morning and doing a whole bunch of shell drill. Can you slide your feet and stay in front?
13 points now for Kuat Noi of the 27 that Sydney have scored in the game. He's having an outstanding start to NBL24. He makes predictions, and most of the time he backs them up. Nenga, nice handoff. And Miller is fouled. So no Taron Armstrong at the moment for Cairns. We still haven't seen him play NBL minutes. He played in one of the NBA games. Patrick Miller was signed, in the eyes of many, as a backup to Taron Armstrong. Is he better than that?
Well, he's shown that he is very good at this level, and it's about just trying to find that balance. And he's a nuggety guy in a league where you are trying to put some heat on the rim, you are trying to penetrate. He's got good size to deal with that, and he can create his shot when he gets in the paint. So he's a very good player in this league. It's about trying to find ways in which you can use both of them.
When Adam Ford signed Pat Miller, he told him, you may not start, but you will be our closer. I know who you are, I know what you do, I know how clutch you are, and I know how what you do works in the NBL as he's out off to the races.
Oh, hang on.
Blocked by the rim.
Got electrocuted up there.
Oh, no.
These things can happen.
He can smile about it.
A little fella.
He can smile about it now.
Electrocuted.
Yes. Here he is thinking, well, I might get blocked, so I might as well go up. Oh, hang on. Just real voltage around that rim. And this is the front end.
Clint makes the second. Cairns have got this out to a 10-point lead now. They've had the better of the Kings in quarter number 2. Hogg forces his way in. Foul will be on Wardenberg, so his second, Menenga's second. And 3 fouls as well for Lat Mayen, so some juggling to do for Adam Ford.
Well, we spoke about it before, that they put your defense under a whole bunch of pressure. So there's the challenge possession after possession. In D-Trans, yes, but also in the half court. They try to just force them into contested jump shots with defend at a high level without fouling.
Derek Rucker.
Drewy, I know you'll agree with me here, but wouldn't you like to see a little bit more ball movement before they get into that point of attack stuff? Right now, it's a lot of Hogg, a lot of Noi, and a lot of Adams just straight off the bounce trying to attack. Like, that might be good, but I just don't know if that's the way to get it done over 40.
No, I agree. It's about finding the balance, and a lot of the times, it's a no-pass offense. And you're not exploring anything cheap. And again, everything's coming off the dribble.
Hogg baseline. Nice ball movement from Sydney. Balden unsuccessful. Valentine shook his man off. There's Balden once more, and he misses from underneath. It's one of those nights so far for Sydney. 9 of 28 now from the field. Clint slips over and loses the ball. Here's Malawatch wide open.
Oh my.
Failed to draw iron.
They're 0 of 12 from the three-point line.
And they're dangerously close, Drewy, to tip an under 30% from the field overall.
Yeah, they missed a play before. 2 bunnies around the basket. And that's what happens. It can start to play mind games with you, with the way the shooting's going, and start to see things that really aren't there and put some pressure on yourself. That's what's happening here from my eyes.
When Sydney win, they average 13.5 made threes a game. In their 2 losses this season, they've made just 8.5. So the numbers don't read well for them here.
They can look at it. Obviously, I have no idea what happened because we're down the other end.
Yeah, well, truth be told, the Taipans, they haven't taken advantage. They really haven't.
No, they have not.
They're only up 8 here, and Balden's going to the free throw line. Their turnovers have killed them. 4 for Clintman, 4 for Qual, 9 overall. And, they've been burping the ball up, Drewy, and letting the Kings off the hook.
100%. The Kings would be saying, hang on, we're playing terrible at really both ends of the floor, but we're well in touch distance on the road, and feel like that they've got a whole lot more to give.
Balden makes it a 6-point game at the Cairns Convention Centre. Wardenberg in rhythm.
He's got the licence. He took an early one, the possession before. One pass offence blazed away against the zone. And that time, there was at least one side of the floor to the other. And he knocks down the 3-ball.
He's 10 points on the back of 14 on Thursday night in their loss over against Illawarra. That'll be an offensive foul against Sean Bruce.
Here's the Harvey Norman replay. Wardenberg thought about it. Pass fake, pass fake. Actually, you know what? I might just launch it. Shot 19% from 3 on the season, coming in after 34% last year, but he's knocked one down here tonight.
So 40-31 in the snooze timeout. Cairns just wanting to have a little chat about things with 4.5 minutes remaining before half-time. DJ Hogg tonight playing his first game for the Sydney Kings against his former team, the Cairns Taipans, and here's a little sample of what's coming up at halftime.
Oh, what a slam! Caught a body underneath.
Yeah, hopefully I get a shot. I get a legitimate shot. Summer League was good for me. We didn't win enough games, I think, so winning definitely helps in my opinion. But I would say I'm somewhat close. You know, I'm getting older though, so my window is closing. This is a big year for me. Sydney is, of course, the hub for NBA teams. When they come in, they come to Sydney games, and it's a straight fight from LA and all that. So that also played a part in it. Hopefully, I one day can get to the NBA, and so Sydney felt like the best path. Hopefully, I can get healthy and stay healthy, and then have a great year, and then maybe somebody will give me a look, and so I'll play out.
There were a couple of big names that changed teams in the off-season. That was as big as any when DJ Hogg left the Taipans and signed with the Kings.
Yeah, it was, and I think when you look at the move, it's always tough for the Cairns Taipans. As it's well known, they don't have the same resources as some of the other teams, and they're able to bring them in. I think it's full credit to Cairns that they understand where they're at, and they go, well, that's okay, we'll just go find the next one. And they seem to be pretty good at it.
On the flip side, it's also a credit to the Kings that guys have seen Jay Shante and they've seen Xavier Cooks, and they go, yeah, you're right. When you tell me that you're an NBA pathway of an organisation, as Qual lights one up again from long range. Yeah, guys see that that proof of the pudding has been in the eating.
That is true, but I reckon there's a few extra things going on in the bank account that may have been an even greater incentive on this occasion.
Fair.
Just not as many concerns about where next month's rent's coming from, Drew? Is that what you're suggesting?
No, well, that's just the reality of it. And that's why I got great respect for what Cairns are able to do.
Josh Roberts let one fly. Valentine has a wide open DJ Hogg. Big rebound by Malawatch, and he scores.
Well, they're getting good work done on the offensive glass. The Kings, all of them have a license to crash, and they've picked up 8 of them already.
Got it back to an 8-point game. We were fouled by Balden.
143, arms out of vertical, shot.
Cairns will be on the free throw line. Jonah Balden picks up his second. Now Sydney have got some foul troubles of their own. They've got 3 fouls to Jalen Adams, 2 to Geordie Hunter, 2 for Valentine and Balden.
It's a little tough. You heard the official say the arms out of vertical, but if you get all ball, it doesn't matter if they're not vertical.
This man, Pat Miller, Truey, does not want to shoot the 3-ball.
No, that's not.
We've talked about the points and the numbers he's been putting up. There's Jalen Adams calling his Jets. 24 points the other night for Pat Miller. He's 1 for 3 from long range on the entire season so far. Now, admittedly, they haven't played a whole heap of games, but he just does not want to shoot from that territory. And, you know, as teams start to get to know these new guys a little bit more, it'll become more and more of the scout to say, hey, listen, he wants to put it on the deck and get into the mid-range and operate from inside the arc.
Balden swings for Hogg. It's his own rebound, and misses that time as well. Derek Rucker courtside.
And it's interesting, we see DJ Hogg, every time you come to me, Bull Qualls lining one up. But Hogg is getting good touches in this first half, guys. I know he's not hitting much. He looks a little bit rusty, but I think this will work out well for him in the second half because the Kings aren't really out of this yet.
As Clintman threw it up there. Wardenberg takes care of the rest. 12 points now. Taipans lead by 12.
We just threw in the 7 pump fakes before he went up, Sam Wardenberg. But yeah, this is starting to get a little dangerous. They're 0 for 13 from 3, the Kings. And Taipans just now starting to take advantage.
That's going to be an offensive foul.
Yep.
See, to me, DJ Hogg, and I think Derek is spot on, he's had a lot of good looks, but very few looks have come from him working off a screen. I mean, off the ball. Some screener action, picking and popping, none of that. It's just get it to him, or it's a straight kick out for the shot. And just the little anxiety with it as well. I think coming back, first game, new club against your old club, and that burning desire to do well might just be causing him some problems. There you go, there's your 3 ball.
There it is.
And they gave him an invitation to shoot it, exactly what you're talking about, Liam.
Denzel Valentine scoreless in the first half for Sydney. Averaging 11.5 a game across the season thus far. Kuat Noi never shy. The dry spell continues from outside.
It's 0 of 14 from the 3. 31% in total. And there has been a dramatic change in the way they're playing. They just continue to do the same thing. And a lot of the times you say, well, why not? You're getting some decent looks, but they're not falling. They're not going in, and maybe there might need to be a bit of a rethink about maybe just get through some sets. And they do have them. We've seen them. Get through some sets. Sometimes motion just for the sake of motion. It's not as a coach what you want, but sometimes it can be helpful just to move the defense around and loosen things up a little bit.
Noi misses the second.
Goal, 13, red 13, hit to the head. 2 shots.
Bonus free throws for Sydney, with Cairns being over the limit.
Calder Gap just picked up 2,002 seconds.
Yes. Cam Toby territory the way he's going.
Adam Ford said, let's put a stop to that. Come and have a seat, big fella.
66% free throw shooter. Not terrible. You'd like to be a little high, but not terrible.
Jonah Balden has made the Cairns Taipans fans not.
Shoes.
Because they get burgers. The code word is shoes. And we can chow down post-game courtesy of Jonah Balden and our great mates at Hungry Jack's. It is by far and away the best promotion in Australian sport.
The zone here from the Kings is working quite well. They've stalled it. Now that's nice from Miller. Oh, boy.
Good Lord, that's going to hurt.
A hard landing for Patrick Miller.
He's grabbing the back of his head. Contact with the hardwood.
Wasn't able to get his feet. Just got thrown off balance when he was at the summit and couldn't get his feet underneath him to break the fall. And the head just snapped back when his shoulders hit the ground. His head just snapped back when we get a look at this on the replay.
That's heavy contact. He's moaning
Yeah.
audibly down there in a lot of pain. Here's what you're talking about, Drew. Rises up, and then this contact
on the shoulder.
right here. Bang! Ouch!
No good.
Wow. We hope that he's okay.
The neck, I think he's... he was referring to.
He'll go through all of the required concussion protocols. But the more immediate concern, I guess, is the neck and the back region.
Yeah, there's like a whiplash type action. Oh, this is good to see.
Derek Rucker.
Well, he's reaching badly for that lower back area. That was a very explosive leap from Patrick Miller. A clear indication of how brilliant an athlete he is. Unfortunately, Drewy, the flip side of that is you get yourself in some precarious positions.
Yeah.
He's actually limping pretty badly here right next to me. I think it's more the lower back than the head, guys. And that's unfortunate because he is a key piece and one of the outstanding players of this competition early in the season.
Here it is one more time. There is no give in the hardwood floor.
Now,
I love the aggression at the attack on the rim.
Oh, yeah, relentless.
Adam Ford's just overstepped the mark, and he's picked up a tech. So it'll be one free throw for the Sydney Kings, and then whoever's subbing in will get the free throws.
Now, obviously the concern about the back and the neck, but the concussion element will have to come into play here.
No doubt.
For Pat Miller, so they're going to need others to step up. No Taron Armstrong, no Tajir McCall, now no Pat Miller.
11's our shooter.
That man to take the free throws, as Drewy said.
Ball
I like it.
He was happy to just tick his numbers
Sneak
over
in.
a little.
Why not?
Come on, ball.
It is. I'm not sure what would have made Adam Ford so agitated that he'd get a tech foul on that action.
The last minute of the first half, Patrick Miller incident has stunned a lot of the crowd at the Cairns Convention Centre. The team still lead. Valentine unsuccessful. Hunter came flying through.
Great crash. Got to put a body on offensive rebounders, and the Taipans fell asleep right there.
Mayen steps into his three with confidence. Menenga back out for Qual.
Well, right now, the offensive board for the Sydney Kings is their best offense. They've got 11 of them. 21 boards in total, 11 coming on the offensive glass.
Valentine gets Jonah Balden involved. Deep three late in the half.
Oh, well, a welcome sight. A made three-point attempt from the Kings. 1 for 16 now in the first half from long range.
Qual with two more. And Sydney call a timeout. They'll have a couple of seconds to work with when the clock gets adjusted. Coach Mahmoud Abdel Fattah wants to draw something up in the snooze timeout.
Well, if you've got it, you might as well use it. As we have a look at the three ball, and it's come from the big man, Jonah Balden. Knocks it down. He shot that like he knew what he was doing. There's that penetration and that help that you're talking about. I don't mind the positioning of Clintman there, because we've seen so much penetration. Just maybe a little bit more intensity on the closeout, but the way the Sydney Kings are playing, trying to protect that paint, is a big part of how they're going to stop them.
And we've obviously got a lot of water to go under the bridge here. Another couple of quarters to come, but that 0 for 15 starting to talk about sort of historical territories here for the Kings. This has come through from the great Matt McQuaid. The worst Kings three-point shooting game in franchise history was 0 for 10 versus Adelaide back in 2011, 2012. They've had 3 games where they went 1 for 15 and back in the early 90s. 1 for 16 right now. I tell you, it wouldn't shock me to see him just light this place up in the second half.
No.
As Mahmoud Abdel Fattah will say in the huddle at timeout, keep shooting them because they'll start going down.
Two things that about that text that needs to be noted. One, hello, Statman. Great to hear from you.
It's not Matt McQuaid.
Matt McQuaid. Hello,
if anyone
Matt
knows
McQuaid.
the Sydney Kings, it's Matt
yes,
McQuaid.
Yes, indeed. Matt, the other thing is, well done. Well done on hitting us up with some important information.
I really wasn't sure where you were going there.
No, it's good to hear from him. Does the call on the radio, I think we certainly did last season. Haven't tuned in this year, but
Gem of a caller.
Does a great job.
Whoa. Take Josh out. Whoa. Oh. Yeah, do the pass.
He rides every single plate, Adam Ford.
Still got time here. I mean, plenty of time to get a good look in this half-court set.
John Antonio checks in. And Nenga turns and shoots.
Time. Didn't need to do that.
Adam Ford is livid on the sidelines.
He agrees with me. Had a little bit more time. 3.8 is an eternity in the half court. Could have had a pass, another set, anything. Instead, they throw up a prayer.
Not sure that play was designed for Sam Menenga.
Oh, and he would have loved to have stolen that because the Kings took a timeout and then they had their own opportunity.
Here's Derek Rucker, courtside.
Bull, great first half from you guys. Obviously, the focus was to come out here and play really tough defense in this first half.
Yeah. Our focus is to come out with energy, enthusiasm, and lock in on the defensive end.
What's going to be the key to the second half to keep this defensive intensity going?
Just come out with the same effort, same focus.
All right, Bull, good first half.
Taipans lead by 9 at the main break at the Cairns Convention Centre. The halftime show coming up next. You're watching Saturday Night Hoops here in the Hungry Jacks NBL.
While we're doing this, maybe the cheerleaders might be handing out some free Cairns Monopoly board games as well too. So keep your eyes peeled. Maybe make some noise. Grab that ball. Okay, first we're gonna do a tunnel ball race. Does everyone know what tunnel ball race is? So line up in 3, 1, 2, 3 behind each other. Person at the front gonna roll, person at the back's gonna run to the front. All the way through, we're just going to do a lap, a quick lap, okay? Ball on the front. This is Joe Blake's team, this is Mr. Monopoly's team. All right, ready, set, go! No tunnel ball straight through, just roll it straight under. What are you doing? Get in the front, yes? Keep going, keep going. We got Sam in the front here. Sam, when you get to the front. All right, there we go. There's winner number 1, competition number 1. Joe Blake squad. Mr. Monopoly, your squad. You're going to go down there. We're going to have a 3-point competition. 3-point shot competition. Joe Blake squad down here. Mr. Monopoly squad down here. I'm going to give you 40 seconds. When it's 9:40, you're going to start. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go, far away. Count how many you got. Are we going to allow Team Joe Blake for Joe to shoot? Because he's... Let's go, you got 25 seconds. Oh! Mr. Monopoly squad. 1, what's the score down here? 1. Joe Blake's going for another one. Come on, Mr. Monopoly squad.
DJ Hogg puts it on
Hogg's way more comfortable shooting threes than he is making layups.
Hogg from outside. Yes! DJ Hogg to the rack.
I didn't know he had that.
He's got that.
Here goes Hogg once more. He can throw it down as well. Here's a three. Here's a dunk. Take them all.
Last year was great, man. I loved my time in Cairns. Loved the fans. Loved playing for 40. Loved my teammates. It was a great year. I have no complaints. To stay in the NBL, it was an easy decision, honestly. The league is great. It's real professional out here. They treat you well. The whole organization of every team and how they treat it and the rivalries and fans really get into it, especially come playoff time. And it was just something I wanted to be a part of again.
Hogg wide open. You know what happens next.
Making my way to Sydney, it wasn't the easiest decision. Me wanting to play for 40 again had a big part in it, and that was tough to do. But it just seemed like the right move to make, and they assured me that they were going to find another coach that was the level of Chase. And I had spoke with Chase, and he spoke very highly of CP and the staff and how they do everything. And so Sydney is, of course, the hub for NBA teams. When they come in, they come to the Sydney games, and it's the straight fight from LA and all that. So that also played a part in it. Hopefully I one day can get to the NBA, and so Sydney felt like the best path. Hopefully, when I go back to Cairns, I get a good reception. I mean, I played hard last year, left it all on the court. I think I played every game. Felt like I represented Cairns well, you know. But, you know, fans, they wanted me to come back. I don't know, 40, he wasn't too hard about it. Of course, he wanted me to come back, but he understood where I was coming from, and it's no love lost with there. We still speak. This is a big year for me. Hopefully, I can get healthy and stay healthy, and it'll all play out.
DJ Hogg told us there that he wanted a good reception coming back to the Cairns Convention Centre. I think it's been a reasonable reception. The Taipans fans were fairly warm to a man who absolutely they just flowed to last season. He had such a great impact.
Well, that's right, and I guess they're also helpful because he hasn't had a great one. He's been out there and he's had some good looks, just hasn't been able to knock him down, still trying to get his feet underneath him. And although we see a 9-point lead to the Sydney Kings, I think I stay with what Leon Meyer was talking about. I think that the Cairns Taipans be a little bit disappointed they haven't got more of an advantage because the Kings gave them every opportunity for this to be a little bit more sizeable. They've hung around, they've shot the ball poorly, the Sydney Kings, and you can't expect them, they're going to do that for the rest of the game. And Jalen Adams, with those 3 fouls, spent a lot of time on the sideline. So there's a lot of upside still for the Sydney Kings, but to the Cairns Taipans' credit, they started strong, they were knocking down shots, and they've looked pretty solid.
And it's been led by Kuat. He's their leading scorer, equal leading scorer in the game at half-time, Liam, with 14 points.
They're having a really good weekend at 19 points in the 1 point loss to Illawarra, and he's come out in this first half, and he's feeling it. He's been operating from the perimeter and then a little bit there in the mid-range. So a very nice first half performance from Kuat. You can see it here on the Blackmore's shot chart. He's got the 14 points. He's 3 of 5 from long range, but he's been mixing it up. Started to do that a little bit last season, a little bit more off the bounce. And look, he's a versatile offensive player, and he's put that on display in this first half.
Meanwhile, for the Sydney Kings, no Jalen Galloway tonight. It gave an opportunity for Kuat Noi to start. Another Sydney Kings player who's been given an opportunity and he's grabbing it with both hands.
Yeah, he's made the most of it, and he's got good size, and he's shooting the ball this season, not just in this game, but across the season really well in transition in the open court. Shows some good composure. Look at the finish in traffic, the touch, the big man. And this is what how the Sydney Kings play. You've got to be able to penetrate and dish, and he does that as well. As we take a look at the shot chart, and look at the work getting to the rim. And you saw most of those 4 on those drives, the driving action, the floor spread. And if he's not finishing it, he's getting to the free throw line, 6 of 7 from the free throw line. So they've needed him. He carried a significant part of their offense for a lot of that first half.
Earlier this afternoon, the South East Melbourne Phoenix are winners by 3 over the New Zealand Breakers, and it rolls on tomorrow as well. Melbourne United back at home at John Cain Arena after a really impressive performance last night over the Jack Jumpers. And then the Illawarra Hawks, Liam, well, they pinched one on Thursday night, so they should be full of confidence.
Yeah, they should. And it doesn't stop there. Brisbane, they're coming off their win
in Western Australia and the Jack Jumpers. So 2 teams there who are feeling good and up and about ahead of a Sunday afternoon. We're all going to want to watch.
Get yourself settled on the couch, grab yourself lunch, and don't move after that because Sunday Hoops has got you covered here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Third quarter is coming up next from the Cairns Convention Centre. It's the Taipans who lead 51-42.
And guess what? The Jackie's Bakehouse mini squad have mini cupcakes to hand out as well too. Make some noise if you want some mini cupcakes. Thanks to Jackie's Bakehouse. Also time to announce our winners of our QR competition. You've got to scan the QR code and pick your starting 5. Congratulations to Paul Neville and Rebecca McNamara. They're your winners this evening. You both.
It's great to have your company for Saturday Night Hoops, the Cairns Taipans and the Sydney Kings. Cairns leading 51-42. There's good news for Cairns. You wouldn't say that Pat Miller's moving all that well at the moment, but he is back out on the floor after that heavy landing in the second quarter.
Oh, jeez. I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked if we saw him again in this second half. And so they're going to have to play point guard by committee. Bobby Clintman was good in that first half. 9 points, 7 boards, on track for a double-double. But others like Bull Qualls, Alex Madronja's going to play some minutes here, but Qualls going to handle the rock to begin this third quarter.
There's Pat Miller in the tunnel, moving like Truey at MSAC on a Monday night. Let's get courtside Derek Rucker.
Well, right now they're just trying to see if he has lower limb stability as a result of that hard trauma that he sustained, and that doesn't look good right now. He's got a look of dismay, and I don't think he's right next to me now. and I don't think he's going back in. He's got a look of resignation on his face, guys.
Ruck, what have you seen in terms of kind of concussion protocols as well? Because, of course, we've seen that in recent weeks around the league, and that was a heavy hit to the head.
Surprisingly, there seems to be no attention to that. All the focus has been on his lower back and his glute area, and he seems fine. He seems lucid, and there's been no protocol, no concussion protocol adhered to as far as I'm concerned.
Pat Miller, seemingly for the remainder of the game. Need some ice. He's not happy.
As bad and painful that is, it's a much better issue to deal with than if it's something to do with his concussion or a head injury. Is Kuat Noi, again, just his ability to get to the rim. Finishes soft around the rim and has been a shining light for the Sydney Kings.
Clinton turns the corner.
Jeez. Had the lane, Bobby, just couldn't put it down.
Valentine, top of the key. It goes. Is this the start of something for the Kings?
Could be. Would not be surprised at all to see him find their touch in this second half, and that'll feel good for Valentine because he was a total non-factor in that opening half.
First made field goal, 1 of 5. Now,
Reminder, Sydney were 1 of 16 from outside in the first half. That man dispossessed. The Kings have cut this back to 4 very quickly. Kuat Noi catch and shoot. Jonah Antonio with the rebound, one of those who's going to have to play some more minutes in the third quarter.
We could hear Adam Ford talking about pace on the sidelines, but Drew, it reminds me of the great Ken Watson. Be quick, but don't hurry.
That's it. And there was a bit of that right there. He saw his eyes lit up when he saw Geordie Hunter in front of him, but Geordie Hunter did a good job sliding his feet, keeping him in front.
Taipans led by as much as 12 midway through the second quarter.
Just slicing them up, Jack. Kuat Noi is slicing them up off the bounce.
Not with any sort of explosive pace either, just control.
18 points. Wardenberg clanging and banging, finds 2 more.
Well, it was good D from Tui initially, and then the help arrived. Wardenberg did a great job of playing off 2 feet. Youngsters watching at home, here's what the coaches want you to do. When you attack, stay under control. Play off 2 feet, and he works his way through the contact for the and one.
He has 14 on 6 of 10. He can make that 15. Another who's spent some time in and around NBA radars and Summer League as well, just gone, Sam Wardenberg.
He's out of bounds.
It won't count for Valentine. You can just sense that something's starting to build here for the 2-time defending champion.
Yeah, he saw it go down for a second time. Can't take that away from him. You can take away the 3 points, but yeah, you just do get that sense, don't you, Jack, that they're starting to feel good about themselves.
No Tajir McCall tonight. Not playing for personal reasons. No Taron Armstrong out with a foot injury, and Pat Miller has been ruled out seemingly for the remainder of tonight as well. Qual late in the shot clock. Jalen Adams with ball in hand, walks into the 3. Here come the Kings.
Well, it wasn't going to last, the incredibly poor shooting for the Sydney Kings. And they've made a couple to start the third. And the tempo of the game and the ease at which the Sydney Kings seem to get things going would have Adam Ford a little worried.
Just puts the defense on the back foot, rises up, knocks it down. Adam Ford wants to talk about it. And this is where it comes back to bite you that you didn't take advantage in the first half.
Let's get courtside to Derek Rucker, who's got one of the big names of Australian basketball alongside him.
I'm here with Kayla George, WNBA champion. Congratulations. What a fantastic achievement. Why are you here and still not partying in Vegas?
Yeah, I mean, there was a big 5-day bender after the game, so it was about time I came home after the parade. I took the next flight out and just trying to prep for the WNBL season now, so next focus, that's how it is.
And that must be one of the crowning achievements of your career. You got plenty of accolades, but where does that one rank?
Yeah, that was pretty incredible, and I didn't really play a whole lot all season, and then to be able to start in Game 4 of the finals and have some impact and help us win was really cool. And yeah, it's right up there with probably one of my highlights of my career. But I can't go past any time I rep the Opals.
What's next? The WNBL season. What are you looking forward to coming up?
I'm looking forward to just getting with my Sydney Flames girls and Guy and just getting stuck into the season. I've been away from Australia for 6 months, so I'm excited just to get down there and get with my Flames fam.
And who's the young lady next to you?
This is Nancy. This is my girl Nancy. She's Nancy George, an up-and-coming basketball player. So look out for Nancy George in the future.
Who's your favorite player in the WNBL?
Kayla George. Hey, you better.
Very good answer. Kayla, welcome back and congratulations on everything you do. Wait a minute, who's going to win this game?
I mean, I'm a Cairns local, so go Taipans, but my new boss is Kings, so go Kings. So can I be 50-50?
There you go, Drewy. Don't say anything about our height either.
Post that D-Rug up. Put him on the box.
Great to have Kayla George in tonight. What a star she is of Australian basketball. Probably a smart decision to fly out pretty quickly, because judging from what we saw of the Las Vegas team and the way they partied, they're still going. Valentine tees off. Antonio has a fumble and some more errors starting to creep into Cairns.
Well, it's been consistent. 12 turnovers for them. And
We're good. Get it back. Get it back.
see the positivity that Adam Ford is trying to generate amongst his group.
From a Sydney point of view, Liam, Angus Glover, game number 100 tonight, has only played 4 minutes.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. The minute squeeze has certainly impacted him this season. Not just this game, as the Taipans pick up a foul, reaching in on DJ Hogg. And, you know, he's the milestone guy tonight for sure, Angus Glover, but he just hasn't been able to find consistent run.
His percentages have been down, playing almost 17 minutes a game, but only shooting the 3-ball, which was his strength. Only shooting it at 17% on the season. He's a much better three-point shooter than that.
Last season was 43%. It was almost automatic in that final series. The Taipans by 2. Back to Ruck, courtside.
Hey, Drew, that first half with the Kings, you guys were talking about them, and Sam hit the nice shot. But it was almost like they were like to DJ Hogg, go out there, we'll get you the ball, get you the field. And now they've come out in the second half, they're like, okay, buddy, now let's play some basketball and try and get this victory.
Yeah, absolutely. And, of course, everything looks a whole lot better when you see a few shots go in. And that's what the Sydney Kings have been able to do early in this third period. A couple of threes drop in.
Dronya to shoot late in the clock.
Jeez, really feel like they've lost their way offensively here, the Taipans. Just very static offensively, very little ball movement and body movement, and then guys just teeing off from long range.
And that's where you miss Patrick Miller. His leadership, point guard, not out there. It's looking really random now. It's random who they're going to identify. Oh, hello, that's got a bit of travel. Like 4 steps, didn't he?
Ends up in a Menenga dunk. Might have got away with one there, the Taipans.
Well, I think that's not a bad option for him to go at. Sam Menenga, now that was a broken play, of course, but with Wardenberg and Menenga out there, if he gets that DJ Hogg matchup, take him down low, go to work.
Bruce steps into the 3. Sean Bruce, first bucket of the night. 3 points separate these teams now. Sydney starting to find their range in the third term. Taipans just struggling to find the bottom of the net. Hogg's pass knocked out of play. 15 on the shot clock for Sydney. Harvey Norman replay.
Here's that broken play. Good quick hands from John. You get it right back to Menenga. And then they missed Menenga on the very next play. He had the switch and he had Jalen Adams down low. Wardenberg missed him. It's one of the things you can do against this Sydney team. Get the switch, get the mismatch, and then punish it.
Now Hogg, shot clock in single figures. He's just missing a bit of that touch in his first game of the season tonight. Glover back out on the floor for Sydney. Goes back through Menenga, swings that one. Extra ball movement to Jonah Antonio. He's off the front of the eye. Hogg drives. He will be shooting two.
Just casually drives in there, and he looks so much at ease. Again, another one that uses his pace. Have you got a challenge, did I just hear? But last possession, the turnovers by Hogg. He's better when that thing moves around a little bit more and he's coming off screens. He's had to do a lot of his opportunities have come with the ball.
So the Cairns are challenging the blocking foul here on Bukwal. Here's Pat Miller, just in the front of screen, shaking his head. He's no good. It's a very animated Adam Ford. Perhaps just sensing that the tide's turning, Liam.
No doubt about it. It's turned, and they've got to try to deal with it.
The foul on 42 will stand. 2 shots.
Gee, not a lot in it. Just that forward motion, jumping forward is what brought him undone. And gets called for the foul. But you can understand why you'd have a look at that, because he was hands are vertical, and just the forward movement is what hurt him.
Adam Ford no longer has the coach's challenge at his disposal.
We need to be careful because he's already got a tech. And he's using language that you start to walk a very fine line.
It's a little fruity. The next round, Indigenous round, will take place here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. All 10 teams are going to wear Indigenous jerseys designed by Indigenous artists, with each uniform featuring strong, deep, meaningful stories. And the ones that we've seen so far look very, very cool.
They always look cool. And this year, I think they've even gone up another level.
Oh, dear. Nothing will get a coach more angry with your own team when you start giving up O boards on a free throw.
14 offensive rebounds tonight for Sydney. Cairns lead by 2. Qual trying to make something happen. It's been a little stagnant in this third term. Taipans led by 9 at the half. It's down to just 2 now as we tick down to the last 2 minutes of the term. Hogg got it. Sydney in front.
Oh, Adam Ford could feel it coming too. The defense just a step off, and he saw it all last season in his own team's colours, and DJ Hogg rose up and knocked it down.
Kings have found their groove offensively. That's a nice reply from Bukwal. Qual now has 17. Equal leading scorer. Hogg trying to repeat the dose.
Is that matchup you're talking about, Liam?
He's passed out of it well. Yeah, but he's drawing a double.
Yeah.
And he's swinging it to the weak side, and they're getting open looks.
Bruce left open. He's already knocked down one. Glover reaching in. He's whistled for the foul. Sydney's third of the quarter.
Now they're missing the playmaking of Pat Miller in a big way, and that scoring punch that he provides off the bounce. But I actually feel like Bull Qualls, he's been doing a pretty good job in this role, facilitating the offense. He's been getting it down to Sam Menenga in those right situations to attack the mismatch. He's obviously got an equal team high 17 points. He and Sam Wardenberg ticking the scoreboard over.
They are, and you're right, but it's that ticking of the scoreboard collectively. Only 12 points in the quarter so far for Cairns, and they've had some good looks, and there's another one that comes up short. So this end has been poor for shooting.
Great hustle from Quintman. Qual with the bucket and one.
Wow, what a turnaround.
And I really like that from Clintman. You see the effort here. Didn't give up on the play. Adams has it. Now he's lost it. And Clintman, quick find for Qual. He came out of the game a little while ago, Clintman, after shooting one that maybe wasn't there, and 40 sat him back down. But I like it when he's coming up with high energy plays like that.
A couple of stabilising buckets for Cairns. Push their lead back out to 5. They've been outscored in this third quarter by Sydney. Oh, Hogg slips over and then steps out of bounds.
Big Taipan energy in the building all of a sudden as we head towards three-quarter time.
A couple of self-inflicted wounds for the Kings. The two turnovers back-to-back. Neither team really being able to grasp any little bits and pieces of momentum. Not being able to get enough where you could really turn it into any sort of significant advantage. 2-3 zone now for the Sydney Kings. Trying to protect the penetration.
Wardenberg wide open. It goes! At the three-quarter time buzzer, Sam Wardenberg is having himself a night. He's got 20. Cairns lead by 8. Three-quarter time at the Cairns Convention Centre. This is Saturday Night Hoops in the Hungry Jacks NBL.
It's time to play. Kmart wants the prize. A $50 gift card is up for grabs.
Dribble that ball, dribble that ball. Oh yeah. Guess what? They're only $8 from Kmart. Make sure you check out the full range of notable Kmart low prices for life. There's our winner. Congratulations, you won yourself a $50 gift card. Thanks to Kmart. What's the price?
Sydney Kings made a bit of a move late in that third quarter, but Cairns had a couple of late blows of their own and lead by 8 with a quarter to play at the Cairns Convention Centre.
Yeah, big last couple of minutes there from the Taipans. Really good third quarter, I felt, from Bull Quoll as Valentine can't hit from range. Matt Mayen's going to pick up that foul on Alex Tui.
He's played all 30. He has not come out of the ball game. And you're right, he had to step up in this one.
It's 4 on Matt Mayen, by the way.
That's the 4th. You heard Adam Ford in the back. I'm keeping you in, lad. So he's going to let him ride it.
Cairns 2-2 to start the season. Sydney third on the table, 4 wins and 2 losses from their 6 encounters.
There's Bull Quoll there grabbing the defensive rebound. It wasn't like he poured on a whole bunch of points. In fact, you know, he had 14 of his 20 points in that first half. But I just thought he just had a composure about him as the makeshift point guard in that third quarter. Could have had 4 or 5 assists in that term if guys had a knockdown shots. And he's not aware the ball's coming to him. There we go, worked out well.
There's one for Sanders watching.
Not being really tested as a point guard, though. They're just allowing to bring the ball up, not really challenged all that much. There's another good attack on the rim. Come up with another offensive board. That's an area where both teams have got more than their fair share. 15 no boards for the Sydney Kings and 11 to the Taipans. So been really aggressive attack on the glass.
We talk about some of the good stories here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. What about the Lat Mayen story? Was a bench warmer for most of last season. Through injuries, Adam Ford called on him. He played 20 minutes or more in the last 6 games of the season and has basically gone from sitting at the end of the bench to starting in half a year.
And Adam Ford loves him. You know, he's the kind of, you know, diamond in the rough that Adam Ford likes to find and build and then completely unleash. And he's had a really great start to the season.
He's had an uncanny ability, Adam Ford, being able to uncover these diamonds in the rough with imports and with locals.
And that's another one he's worked his tail off to continue and improve. Spent the off-season. Oh, excuse me, Bobby! Comes down the middle and with the 2 hands says, "Cop that!" Great find and the elevation by the youngster just to put a bit of energy into the building and in the commentary booth. Wow!
73-61 as Bobby Clintman flies.
Oh, boy. Drew, you take a big, deep breath.
I need a spell.
And cool your jets.
I need a spell.
Because Bobby Clintman just electrocuted the Cairns Convention Centre and our man. Coming down the lane, the great, was it Menenga again out of the block? Jeez, he's passing the ball well out of there. And Clintman, who missed one earlier in a similar type of situation, said, you know what? This time I'm going to go up with 2 hands for safety.
Like his mama taught him. Use the 2 hands and tucked it in with a level of authority that we love to see. And that's a nice bounce. And I love to see, like you say, they've had a plan, a strategy. Get it in the box, play off it. Missed a few that time. No, sir. That's with authority.
Bobby Clintman has brought the Cairns Convention Centre to life. Harvey Norman replay. Drewy, have you got anything left?
I've got nothing left. It's not just the regulation 2-hand stuff. It's the pullback. Have a look at the opponent. Oh, my. Tui, you've been dishing it out. We're going to have to cop one every now and again. And right there, Clintman with the behind the head, and they're getting great value. Menenga down low. They feed it into him. He's dished it out, and they've let him down with some perimeter shots. But that time, the slot cut really brought some energy into the building.
Now, man, Derek Rucker on the sidelines. Rucker, I know you're a big Bobby Clintman fan. What did you score that one out of 10?
Oh, that was a good 9.2. That was strong. I like how, Drew, you hit it on the head for a non-dunker. Somehow you really know what happened. He went up and yoked that thing back. But look, a lot of it is coming, and you guys have made mention as Tui finally tries to get on the board to no success. But you guys mentioned how well Menenga's passing the ball out of those double teams. They're catching the Kings in this switching defense. Before the game, Hogg said that they didn't get exposed last week. They're getting exposed this week.
For sure, you're playing catch-up, and when you've got a willing passer and a good passer with some size out of that box, you need to have massive ball pressure, or else you're going to get dunked on like we just saw.
It is a 15-0 run that the Taipans are enjoying right now. Adams trying to change that. Cairns just wanted that little bit more.
Good crash. Tui had it. Clintman took it. 40 thinks it's Taipan's ball.
Stop rewarding fucking...
Let's have a potty mouth sometimes.
Well, he's, as Drew pointed out before, he's dancing dangerously close to the edge of the cliff with the T already to his name.
Geordie Hunter comes out. Jonah Balden back in. Bruce left alone. It drops.
Whew, much needed for the Kings. Snaps the 15-zip run.
On the back of a defensive breakdown.
Taipans still lead by double figures. Time for Menenga. Good energy from Clintman.
Ooh. Well, they should challenge that, the Kings.
That did look pretty obvious.
I think the official felt like, geez, it was a foul. I won't call the foul. I'll just give it Cairns' ball. And then they've had a bit of a chat about it, and it's going the other way.
Look at Adam Ford saying, you know it. DJ with a few other expletives and adjectives and all sorts of language going on. But it looked like a pretty obvious one, didn't it?
Mm.
And fortunately, I think justice is done. Bobby Clint, the work he's doing on the bar, he got the 8 boards. He's looked like he's been on a mission to get after it, give his team second opportunities.
Tui in the corner. I haven't seen a lot of him tonight. It's his own rebound and then a hard foul. And if that's on Lat Mayan, then that'll be his night done.
There's still plenty of time. There's a 15-0 run, but we saw from the Taipans, but still a long way to go in this one. And Lat Mayan goes up. And unfortunately for him, Tui just gets into his body. And when they get into your lower body like that, you naturally, when you're in the air, you lean forward and puts you out of position. We just saw in the game prior, 26-point lead to Phoenix and a minute to go. I think they got as close as 2, the New Zealand Breakers. So with such firepower, I know they've been shooting well, but with such firepower on this Sydney Kings roster, there is a long way to go in this one.
Sloppy. Hogg picks it off. Oh my goodness. Second missed dunk on that rim tonight.
That one will bring some joy to Taipans fans. He didn't miss him last season. Tui from the corner.
Well, 3's better than 2, so it worked out well. And Tui, despite not seeing a lot of it, he stepped into that shot with great confidence.
Sydney go on a little run. They've scored the last 7. They pile the pressure back on Cairns. Clintman, what a pass!
Oh
my.
Shoot the ball.
Just lay it up, Madronya.
And that's what happens when you're a little nervous. You're in a part of the court that you're not normally accustomed to, and you start to see things that aren't there. And that little hesitation cost the Taipans an easy 2.
Oh my!
I guess it is.
That'll count.
Oh goodness! Oh!
Bobby. There's a little fumble. Cairns have scored a couple of buckets in 10 seconds. Push it back out to 11. There's some strange things happening in this fourth quarter. Last touch by Sydney.
Well, both teams have been a little sloppy with it over the course of the night. 27 combined turnovers. And some of them have come at some really inopportune times here. The Taipans threw it away and the Kings cashed in, and then Clintman jumping into the lanes. And he puts the Taipans back out by double digits.
The home team has won the last 5 contests between these two. Cairns find themselves in a winning position as we head to the back end of this game. Qual steps out of bounds.
It's quite extraordinary how many times that happens. You'd think that these guys, they're on the basketball court that often, the internal GPS system would pick that up a little bit more regularly.
Head down out of control, travels.
So much better by Sam Wardenberg there. The Taipans had all kinds of trouble staying in front of Kuat Noi in that first half, and that time Wardenberg slid his feet, stayed in front, and the turnover resulted.
Here's Kuat Noi, 18 points, 6 of 11 from the field.
He's been really good, Kuat Noi. He just hasn't been able to find his touch from long range. I mentioned earlier, 45% on the year coming in tonight, 0 of 4 in this one. And he's just one of, a whole bunch of Kings that haven't quite had their radar on point from three-point territory.
That's right, but it's underselling his contribution. Yeah, you're spot on with the 0 of 4, but gee, he's been productive of finding ways to get to the rim. Derek Kickett offering a little bit of advice.
That's a guy whose radar was always finely tuned, Drew.
Oh, my word, it was. A whopping 40, 50, 90 on the offensive end.
He's beat the trap and settle in to something more meaningful in the half court. Great chance for them to take a big scalp tonight. Drawn now with 1 on the clock.
Didn't hit the rim. So it's going to be Kings ball. And now is that time in the game where you've got an 11-point lead. So you start to become more conscious of the clock. And yeah, they wanted to use the ball that time, but it got down too late before they got into attack mode. Went through their motion, and they're trying to get a little bit more proactive a little earlier, but trying to end with shots in that last 6 seconds when you're trying to play the clock. But there's no point doing that if you're just going to get rubbish shots like we just saw. If something early presents with some of your action, you've got to stay positive and continue to try to pick up a cheap basket.
7 points tonight for Jalen Adams. And 1. How did he finish?
Tough bucket from Adams, and they really need him to come up big here down the stretch. Here he is. He's got Wardenberg isolated, plays through the contact, shifts to the left. That is tough. Kisses it off the glass. So 9 now, 3 of 13 from the field. So they've kept him relatively under wraps, but this is the period of time in ball games that he loves the best.
Big minutes for Gak coming on. He's only played a little over 5, or what's it? Almost 6 minutes. He's coming in at a pivotal time.
He's someone that Adam Ford thinks really highly of, but as you say, Drew, Business time in this game. It's take. Early signs are good. Free throws.
Good take from AK Gak. They go back to Menenga, and it wasn't quite a double, but Gak's man, Hunter, started to hedge towards the ball. And for a big guy, that was a really good rip and attack on the rim.
We spoke about these diamonds in the rough that Adam Ford has a happy knack of discovering. Calder Gak spent 3 years on the end of the bench at Illawarra, but Adam Ford sees something in this young man that he thinks is capable of being a really good player in this league.
Well, that's what Adam Ford does. He looks for those diamonds in the rough, young kids looking to get some opportunity, and he's got all the DNA tools you want. Good size, tremendous athlete, good hand-eye coordination. You saw by that drive. And DJ Hogg comes in and splashes a 3. And all of a sudden, we've got a 6-point ball game with plenty of time left on the clock.
Oh, wow.
Miscommunication from Cairns. Got time to make amends. Offensive foul will go against the Taipans.
Here's DJ Hogg just strolling into the pull-up triple. Menenga with his hand down. Wasn't here in the country watching last season as Hogg poured that in week after week.
Pretty sure Fordy would have showed him some clips. Got to carry a hand at the very least. Be some level of deterrent.
Shot clock at 9 for Adams. Guarded by Wardenberg. Gets himself in deep and scores.
Good deep, better offense.
4 points the difference at the Cairns Convention Centre. Wardenberg takes an early one.
Well, they need to compose themselves here, the Taipans, or they're going to let this one slip away. You mentioned before, Jack, amazing opportunity to take a big scalp. No Armstrong, no McCall, no Pat Miller in the second half here.
And just those couple of possessions when they got 11 up, 5 or so to go, and they, to me, look like they become real clock conscious, and it's hurt them. Got them out of the nice rhythm that they were in. And sure, you need to be aware of that and play smart, but it just went real negative.
Adams for 3. Wardenberg takes care of the rebound.
Dodged a bullet there, the Snakes. The Kings just ready to pounce at any opportunity here.
Ball's pass knocked out of bounds. And they're back to that period. Here's Pat Miller, who won't be out there for the rest of the night. They're back to that period again, Drewy, where every offensive set feels like it's hard work.
Yeah, it is. And closing out games against a team like the Sydney Kings is always going to be tough because they've got superstars, and it's not helped with sloppy turnovers like that. Oh, dear.
Tui, extra pass for Valentine. And Cairns dodge another bullet. Good look for Sydney. Tick down to 2 minutes left at the Cairns Convention Centre. The home team cling to a 4-point lead. Qual over the top of Hunter. Menenga couldn't hang on to the rebound, and here come the Kings. Great D from Clint, but no foul. Taipans get the ball back.
That was better than great D. That was outstanding D. Knew what was coming in, just went up with the straight hands vertically and said, hey, if you're going to make a tough one, you're going to make a tough one, but I'm not going to foul. That is the best he could have possibly done under the circumstances.
I feel like by the end of tonight, Bobby Clintman will be in Drewy's favourite All-Star.
He's already in there.
He's already in there. We haven't got to the bottom. Next time, maybe. We're going down the stretch here.
Maybe tomorrow we'll get to that one.
There's a few along the journey that I've had. And he's right up there because I like what I see.
Menenga takes the bump. And that'll be 5 fouls for Jordan Hunter. He's had a fantastic season tonight. Not his biggest night. Just 6 points and 5 rebounds. Derek Rucker courtside.
Guys, I think this is an ideal time to get Wardenberg into a pick and pop situation, especially the way the Kings are playing right now. I don't know if Coach Adam Ford has called that play up, but with 14 on the clock, perfect opportunity, Drewy.
Yeah, for sure. And they've been good at getting whatever, because of the switching defense, they can pretty much get him into a situation where whatever matchup they want, they can get to.
Here's Clintman.
That's not sportsmanlike.
Can't do that.
Valentine.
No, the rules, Valentine.
You can do that in the NBA, but you can't do that in FIBA ball.
Even the NBA, I think, has tightened up this on a little. And that's just a rugby tackle.
It's holding the ball.
That is.
Big play.
Expensive.
Man, 90 seconds on the clock. 2 and possession.
Now, it was always going to be tough because you've got an elite athlete going to the rim, and you had to make sure of it. That's where you've got to take use your legs, slide in more with your hips and push rather than just tackling with the arms.
This young man has been very, very important for them in the fourth quarter.
We heard Ruck talk about the Wardenberg pick and pop, good option. I also like going back to Menenga in the block. Put him on that right block, he can turn to the middle over his right shoulder onto his left hand.
Shot clock once again down to single figures. Qual drives and scores. Big play from Bull Qual. The Taipans have got some breathing space with 1:19 remaining.
He's been really, really good, Bull Qual. Don't worry about the numbers, although the numbers are nice.
Yes.
24, a game high, but just in the absence of all those other point guards, a guy that could just put it under his arm, show some composure, lead your team. He's been terrific.
Qual has 24, Wardenberg has 22, and Bobby Clintman, Drew, we'll let you have this one, has 15 points and 8 rebounds to go with it.
No, he does. I love the way he plays because he plays, it's almost like he's playing with a smile on his face. He's enjoying it, he's having fun out there, and the size is good, but it's the little instincts. Now, that doesn't seem like much, but just knowing the game, able to come from behind, and whenever you can go upstairs like that, it's hard not to like. This time there, just got ahead of himself, was thinking, do I cock it? Do I windmill it? No, I fumbled it, but still have the composure just to get back on track. The 15 points, 4 of 10, the 8 rebounds and the 3 assists. Couple of things he needs to work on, a little sloppy on occasions, but that's just coming with learning the game. He's a young man with a very bright future. He's had some running mates, though. Wardenberg in particular has been a good running mate, 22 points. And when you talk about stats that aren't really jumping off the page, but they found a target in Sam Menenga on that box, and it gave him someone to play off.
It's go time now for the Kings. They need to score, and they need to do it quick. Valentine with his feet set, that'll help. 5-point game. Important trip down the floor here for Cairns. They need to make it count. Wardenberg with a hand in the face. No good. Antonio can't tip it in. O-board to the Taipans. Now they're back through Qual, who dumps it inside. Menenga blocked. Sydney are not done with yet. Adams on the move. Will be shooting 2.
Well, the scramble was really good from the Kings down the other end. Madronya kept it alive. Antonio, they got a new shot clock, or at least almost half of one. And then the recovery on Menenga down low. Adams to the stripe here to cut it to a single possession game.
Four of 15 for the night.
Oh,
jeez.
That surprises me.
Short-armed it, Drew.
You did. Like, you're going to miss. That's not the way you want to miss. Leaving it short shows a little bit of steel elbow.
There's the second. The difference is 4.
So the full court pressure here from the Kings, going to try to make it tough. Taipans need to get organised and look after the rock.
Hogg comes out.
Oh,
steal from Adams. The plot thickens.
Oh.
Now he loses the ball. Clint fouled on the floor.
Replay centre. I have a normal foul. Can you please confirm if the foul is from the side?
Gee.
Wow, chaos ensuing.
And I think they need to also confirm that. I reckon they might have lost, the Kings might have lost a couple of seconds as well before the clock stopped as well.
What they lost, importantly, Drew, was the ball.
Well, so did the Cairns Taipans.
Oh, yes.
It was just a comedy of errors. This stage of the game, have a look. Now, to me, that doesn't... Gee, it's close, isn't it? I don't know these days. I just backed away from that. Morally, forget about the rules. Morally, to me, that's not worthy of 2 and possession.
No, that's... Oh, wow.
But
okay.
technically,
jeez,
it probably is, because there's no one in front. You're not in a sound defensive position, all those other things. But
just looked like a hand check,
Drewy. But when you're coming from behind, Liam,
yeah, I hear you,
and there's no one in front,
yeah,
that doesn't help your cause.
Derek Rucker courtside.
R.I.P. to the half year of Drewy not sitting on the fence.
Oh, that's gone, Ruck.
No,
that's gone.
I had it, D-Ruck.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying, if I'm the grand poobah of this game, I'm saying...
Which you are.
Which I'm not. I'm saying that's not an unsportsmanlike. But to the letter of the rules, there's no one between him and the basket. You're coming from the side, blah, blah, all those things. Then yes, it is. So
I just hate that the game's over on that, you know? Like, the purists in us, we hate to see that call. But from a technical point of view, you're correct. That's the proper call.
Well, they're going to need to close it out here, the Snakes. Now, you're right, probably is over, but they're going to need to look after the ball and then close it out from the free throw line.
The word we're getting from the replay centre is it was contact to the side, which was the main factor in the decision.
And there's no one.
That's right.
Clear path.
Yeah.
But look, it's still just a 6-point game here. So Antonio, look, one will do it.
They need to make their free throws. He makes the second. Timeout, Sydney. 7 down, 17.9 remaining.
3-possession game now. That was a big free throw from Antonio. And you mentioned it earlier, Jack, the opportunity for the Taipans to get a big score. This, if they close it out here in these last 18 seconds, will be a really big win. Just riding the ship after what was a poor performance in Wollongong the other night. And with all those guys missing, Drewy, your 3 point guards out. really, and two of them in Armstrong and Miller, and then McCall, who can also handle the rock, and they've been able to close this thing out.
No, that's right, and that's why if you're a Cairns fan, you've got a lot to look forward to. If you get those guys back in and you maintain the positivity amongst the group, because you bring those three guys back in, clearly there are players that are playing right now that don't get as much time. But if they all buy into that, it can be a fun experience this season for the Cairns Taipans.
Derek Rucker.
Well, speaking of this season, Drew, hasn't the middle class grown over the past 3 days? Brisbane coming up again. Southeast Melbourne on a run. The Taipans, and now the Kings dropping down a bit, has created a big log jam from what, like 3 to 8?
That's spot on.
Throw Adelaide in there as well. Won 3 of their last 4.
Yep.
Yes.
Hope for the quick three. Steve Valentine with a rebound, and Adams will have to shoot quickly as well. 3 chances go begging. And that right there is your ball game. The ultimate bounce back from the Cairns Taipans after having their hearts broken on Thursday night. They butter up and knock off the 2-time defending champions, the Sydney Kings, 87-80 on their home floor.
It did, and it was a game where both teams gave their opponents every opportunity to win it. And it was just a slow start by the Sydney Kings. Some really poor shooting, 9 of 38 from the three-point line for 23%. And that 1 of 16 from the three-point line to start it. But there's your footlocker player of the game, Bull Kuat. 24 points, 9 of 19, and had to do the heavy lifting as far as point guard duties are concerned in that second half, and he handled it well.
It's a massive win, Liam.
Massive win. And contributions right across the board. Bull Kuat was outstanding, more than just what those numbers suggest. Wardenberg with 22, Clintman with 17. Those guys, what, are they combined for 53 of their 87 points? So they were huge. And just the resolve within that group, the grit to deal with the loss of Pat Miller midway through that ball game, come up with big plays down the stretch and bring home a win for their passionate home fans.
Yeah. They are young and they are fun. The Cairns Taipans winners tonight over the Sydney Kings, 87-80. We're going to come back and wrap it up next.